Today we have an opportunity to sit down with our Community Development Director, Ann Lippman, and the Assistant Community Development Director, Chris Robinson. These are two leaders that play a vital role in how Paulding County is going to grow and development. And we're going to spend a little bit of time today, and we're going to talk about a lot of the work that takes place behind the scenes in making sure that there is growth going in the right direction, that our community character is protected, and our future is planned the way that we want it to be planned. So thank you guys for being with us today and taking time out of your busy schedule. And we're about to find out from everybody, or everybody's about to find out just how busy your schedule is. So, Ann, we're going to start with you.
Got it.
Tell us, what is community development?
My short answer on what community development is we have a department of about 30 people who let people build things. We have 4 or 5 divisions in community development. First, projects always start with planning and zoning. Chris is also the planning and zoning division manager. We have a development division that oversees when projects are under construction, when you see the dirt moving. Then they go to the building and permitting department. That's when we issue a building permit and we do inspections on all new houses, new commercial structures. And last but not least, when you are done and you are opening your business, our business delight. You go edit that out. I have to start over.
Nope, we're going to leave that.
The business license division will issue your occupational tax permit.
So you guys are from the individual, they've got a dream or a vision, all the way till the doors are opening and they're waiting on customers, or they're returning a product, or building the home of their dreams. Okay. Chris, the planning and zoning piece of it, that's got to get very interesting. So how does that fall in line with the community development piece?
Well, we have a comprehensive plan that was updated in 2022. And for everybody, that's coming up again for a 5-year update. That's very important for the public input to receive what is people thinking out there on how would they like to see Paulding County in the future. We have a lot of houses that's come up the last 20 years. A lot of that was a result from 20 years ago, a lot of land use and thoughts back then. Things have changed now, and so it's very important that we get as much public input in the next year with our comprehensive plan update. That's important to us in planning and zoning because our zoning ordinance and our development standards relate back to that comprehensive plan on how to regulate, or not try and regulate, but push a certain type of growth in this area or that area. Give you an example, we just got the 92 corridors widened. We have a study that was done back just a little over a year ago. It's the Highway 92 corridor from Hiram south to Douglas County. That's a really important tool for us to use when it comes to land use planning or someone wanting to change zoning on their property for a business or other, which in some cases may be residential. That corridor is employment corridor. This is just a good example. Mm-hmm. And so what we'd like to see there is more opportunities for employment, not residential.
Correct.
So you're looking to do more business and such in that area. So the zoning ordinance, the latest updated version was adopted in March of 2022. Mm-hmm. It's been amended several times just to make some changes here and there based on some of the public input regarding residential development lately. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot of changes on that regarding lot sizes and such. And so that's one aspect that planning and zoning is administrating the zoning ordinance. As part of that ordinance too, there's questions that come up, and we get these all the time. Can I have an accessory dwelling unit? Well, at this time in Paulding County, no, you cannot. But there's an option if you have 2 acres or larger, you could do a guest house. It's something, of course, you can't rent out or anything, but it's specifically a guest house. We get that question a lot. We get questions regarding, hey, can I have some, believe it or not, chickens? We still get those a lot. In most of the zoning districts, if you have an acre or larger, you would probably be allowed to have up to 5 hens.
Okay.
No roosters, but some
No
hens. No roosters. If you go 5 acres or more and get more into agricultural such, you can, it's a lot more you can do. We get questions: can I have goats? Can I have pigs? Can I have horses, donkeys,
Cows.
the whole thing?
Well, we are still somewhat
We do
rural
have
parts of the
we
county.
do,
so-
and there's a lot of folks out there like to grow their own product at their homes now.
Now, you mentioned a comprehensive plan, and you mentioned 5 years. So tell us, this comprehensive plan, it's updated every 5 years?
It's 5 years.
Okay. You also mentioned that residents, they have input in this. How do they get their voice heard?
Well, I don't know if you,
Well, the comprehensive plan process is something that's outlined by the state of Georgia. Every jurisdiction has to have one, and you have to have a minimum of 2 public hearings. So those public hearings, it's 2026. We know that people may not want to come to an in-person meeting, so there's usually online opportunities, surveys, and questionnaires that are out there.
And so they make their wishes known, their desires. And once they do that, what does that process look like after that? So I bring in and I tell you, I've got this interest in something. So where does it go from there? Walk us through that.
well, it's part of the process. We have a base plan that's already in place. It's been there, it's been adjusted, it's been updated based on public opinion and a lot of professional staff, not just us, but consultants and such that's been hired to help us with this process. That information is reviewed, and it's tailored to update the plan, saying, hey, we want more development in this area that's for industrial, for instance. We don't want all of this high density over here in housing. And you've put that into plan, and it comes out, you have policies, you have a future development map that goes in there, and one of the most key things is a supporting policy map. And that is used for us when we do our rezoning may come in, for us to make a recommendation, say, this meets the comprehensive plan or it does not. So it's really important, but that final plan output, with all the public input we've received and everything put together, goes back through that one more of those public hearings. But the ultimate decision is the Paulding Board of Commissioners who would have to adopt it. That plan's got to meet state requirements.
Now, just so everyone understands, y'all set the guidelines. You don't solicit businesses to come into the county. You give the guidelines for those businesses desiring to come into the county, and basically put those parameters in place for them to, this is the lane you have to travel in. Am I correct in that? Or am I missing the target there? Just so everyone understands what your role is. What is that day in the life? You don't actually solicit businesses to come into the county, correct?
Like I said at the beginning, we let people build things. So yes, you're correct. When
Right.
somebody comes in and says, I want to build this business here, we tell them if the zoning allows for it, what the development regulations are to get it built. But soliciting the business,
We
is
are
a
supportive
different-
of our economic development office.
Okay,
that's
that's where
their
I was
job
going with
to
it.
work
Yes.
work with companies coming in, and we've got some of the guidelines, and
Yes.
here's the process and such, and we can then work with those companies to come in. But as well as an individual would like to rezone, 5 acres to agricultural for things. It's the same process.
So with all of that being said, needless to say, there's no downtime in community development, especially not in Paulding County, because we're still, where do we rank in the state of Georgia as far as growth?
Good.
Oh God, I think we're still in the top. I know we're in the top 10.
Yeah.
Probably the top 4.
probably top 4 or 5.
I hadn't checked that.
So that keeps you guys very busy.
Very busy. There's around 190,000 people, give or take, in the county now.
We issued over 1,000 new residential building permit.
That was going to be my next question. What is the average, and those are residential building permits?
Yeah.
And
Throughout an average year, we probably issue over 5,000 building permits, but that could be anything from a barn to 50,000 square foot commercial structure.
okay, with what you just said, what requires reaching out? If I want to put a fence up around my property, does that require coming to you?
And if it's over, I believe it's 7 or 8 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it needs to be, you don't want to put it over on your other property. We get those calls all the time.
See, and I think a lot of people, they don't
So we're
understand that.
getting calls on what's going on over here, what's heard they're going to build this over there. Give me an example. The Hooters in Hiram, we've got plans in, and they're moving forward with a new Whataburger. Just things like that. We work.
Are you dropping a teaser out there for everybody?
They turned in plans, so.
And so we do get to see a lot of things that's coming in probably way before most. But we have a lot of call volume and a lot of questions. How can I do this? How to do that? We set up meetings to go through processes. We handle rezoning, special use permits, land use permits, sign review applications. We had to review most business licenses that they're meeting the ordinance. Building permits, anywhere from the big one that Ann just talked about to the small accessory structure or barn in the backyard. We look at every bit of that. I can't tell you how many calls we field a day, but it can be a lot. And so sometimes the turnaround may take a day or two on some things.
So could it be said that y'all are the first stop for if you want to build something in Paulding County, y'all are stop number one? Because what I'm hearing is then you're going to have to work with DOT if it involves the highway, the different utility companies. You're going to have to reach out to them if that be the case.
Water system, environmental health.
That's one thing
fire
we
marshal.
did. We had to interact and be a part of all other divisions and departments because everything's so tied together with community development where we touch.
What every department you have, and you've touched on it a little bit, Chris. You have the humorous piece. Well, can you believe that we had that question? Yeah. What's the oddest question you think you've probably ever had in community development?
Oh gosh.
Is it the rabbits? Is it the strawberries?
It could
Is
be
it the worm farm?
We don't regulate honeybees. They're pretty.
Okay, tell us why.
They're very protected by the state. They are a pollinator, and that's just one thing we don't do. It's a big thing nowadays because you can go to the farmer's market and somebody's going to have some fresh honey. A lot of folks like doing that. But those honeybees will cross a property line from time to time. And so sometimes we get some interesting calls that maybe one of them stung somebody or that they are running hummingbirds off.
Okay, and how do you answer that?
Just straight. We don't regulate those. And we recommend that they might reach out to the cooperative extension agent on just the nature of the honeybee and such. But that's one thing. We get calls where there's too many chickens, they're roaming and tearing up stuff. That's another component that we do. We have a part of the code enforcement.
Okay.
From zoning compliance. I will be straight honest out there. There's a lot of businesses out there that's starting up out hadn't come to see us first thing. And that's when we had to coordinate back through the marshal's office, and we had to work back through sometimes the court system and citations. It's not fair for somebody that comes through the process to do the business right, and someone that just starts up and doesn't try to do it at all.
What do you think?
But we're willing to help any of them to come into compliance.
And that's what I think a lot of people, they don't understand. They think that, well, these ordinances are put in place and we just accept them. We get no explanation, but that's what you guys are here for. So
There's always, you can rezone the property. We just incorporated development regulations, so we have a complete unified development ordinance that has every guideline. If you want to build something in Paulding County, is all in one 800-page plus document. And if what you want to do, if it's not in there, there's the option to do a text amendment to change the text. It might be something that we didn't think of.
can you dive a little deeper into the text amendments? I don't think a lot of people understand exactly what that captures, what that entails.
Okay, our Unified Development Ordinance, it has an administration section, it has the zoning regulations, has development regulations, has sign ordinance, and telecommunications ordinance. And any of those, if there's let's take the zoning ordinance, that's probably the easiest. If there's a use that you want to do on your piece of property, and if our ordinance doesn't address it, it's considered not allowed. So if there is something you want to do and it's not in our ordinance, you can do a text amendment, just like a map amendment that might change the zoning district on your zoning map. This would add something to any one of the zoning districts that we have.
Can you give me an example?
A few years ago, we had somebody who wanted to do an auto broker. And we had auto sales, but not auto broker. They had no intention of having vehicles on their property, but they wanted to be a broker. And because our ordinance was silent on that, they did a text amendment to have auto brokers be a permitted use in a commercial zoning district.
Now, do these text amendments have to go before the Board of Commissioners and be voted on as well?
Yes. They're treated almost exactly like a map amendment. They go before the Planning Commission, who makes a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners.
What do you think the biggest misunderstanding with community development planning and zoning that people have?
Well, let me go and tell you some things that's happened in the past several years when it comes, because we hear a lot, and I think the elected officials all hear a lot about residential growth and development. There's big concerns and the impacts not only on our infrastructure, but the schools and the roads and everything. There have been changes, big changes over the past few years. There was about 30,000 lots that were zoned planned residential development way back. PRD, way back 20 plus years ago. Those lots, with the downfall and everything, sat there, and they're entitled to develop those lots. And that's what you're seeing a lot of the homes going up is in some of these old approved zonings from 20 years ago. Those are hard to tie down because they've had that.
I'm going to play the just average citizen, and from what the citizens are hearing is not a whole lot you can do with those as long as that developer follows what the original plan was. If they don't veer off of that a whole lot, it sort of limits any kind of restriction. Is that correct?
They have some entitlements out there. Some don't, and that's things. But what I was trying to get to is the PRD would allow 8,000 square foot lot. That district, it's inactive. Nobody can rezone to it anymore. Our townhome district that we used to have, that's gone. There's no townhomes that you can zone to in Paulding County, unincorporated. Our apartment district's gone. So what I'm saying, all that higher density is out the door now. Anything that comes in new, the smallest lot size for a single family development is 15,000 square foot lot. That gives you a little bit larger lot. Your distances between houses is more, and it's less density. Even if you go to a senior 55 and over development that you would like to do, at this time we're talking 10,000 square foot lots, single family detached. I think we've seen that district and developments in that district are kind of slowing a little bit. And that would be the 55 and over category.
So I guess we can sum it up. I mean, you guys really do. Y'all protect the image that we want Paulding County to have. And you really do help navigate in the direction that the community desires and wishes for Paulding County to go. And I think that's what, a lot of people, they don't understand that, you are listening and you are there for them. And we thank you for taking time. I know we could talk for hours, But you two folks are two of the busiest folks in Paulding County. So we thank you for taking time to be with us today. And
I just had one more thing.
yes, you go right ahead.
A lot of times we get questions and we try and put this out there. You have zoning at paulding.gov. We have several folks that see that on a daily basis, and we all coordinate to try and answer those questions as quick as possible.
So zoning at paulding.gov. So folks, there you have it. You can reach out to Ann and Chris and their team. They're here to help. They're here to hear our voice, and let's let them know. This is our town, our community, and they're here to help us. And we thank you for taking time today to spend a little time with everybody and pull the shroud back off of it, and let's see what community development, what it really does. So thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
My pleasure.